In December of 2022, I hired an appointment setter virtual assistant for my marketing agency, and things didn't exactly go to plan. Initially, I was actually on a sales call with a real estate agent, and she had mentioned that she had this really good appointment setter that was calling her leads that she was no longer able to employ. She said she's great, so on and so forth. She can refer her to me. She's looking to help her get a job because this agent was downscaling her business. Coincidentally, I was looking for an appointment setter at the time because I had just fired one previously who didn't want to show up to work. So I ended up actually connecting with her, setting up an interview, and by January, I had hired her. Now, a quick bit of context on that conversation. So when we were talking, I had learned that this lady is a single mother. She's based in the Philippines. She's working 20 hours a day apparently, has a car rental business, has a VA agency as well with 8 to 10 people, works crazy hard. From what I had heard from this referral, she's very good at what she does, very hardworking, so on and so forth. So I intentionally wanted to pay her extra. So she ended up getting about $2,000 per month, which in the Philippines is a lot of money. Now, from there, in that conversation, she did offer to build a team of VAs and so on and so forth. I wasn't interested at the time. I really just needed one appointment setter. I wanted her to be calling my leads for me. She was all in for it. Then it was time to get into training. When I was training her, there were some kind of strange things that were going on. Like, she didn't want to record her calls and play them back for me. She, with the role play stuff, she was okay doing role plays on calls with me, but she was really weird about not wanting to record her actual live calls so that I could give her feedback. I was a little bit put off by this, and for you guys watching, you should definitely, make sure that they're actually doing the things that you say, because this is where you're setting your boundaries early on, because you'll see what this kind of turns into eventually. But she starts making her calls and she picks things up pretty quickly. She's booking calls like crazy. I taught her my whole appointment setting script. We had some back and forth on Slack. We've had multiple Zoom calls just to make sure she was calibrated really over the first couple of weeks. And then away she goes. So by the end of January, we've got a good steady flow of appointments coming in for the agency, and things are chugging along quite well, really, for a good number of months. Now, this is where things slowly started to change, and this is where I was talking about boundaries and some of the mistakes that I had made. So she started to make excuses, not showing up to work for this reason, for that reason. Now, she lives in the Philippines, so there were a lot of weather issues, right? And that's totally fine. I have no issues with any of that stuff, right? Because that all of that is very, very real. Where I was a little bit confused and it was difficult to navigate in the situation. I didn't know she mentioned some health issues about this and health issues about that, something about her back, being sick, and whenever she would have a sick day, she would always send photos in for proof, and that always gave me this impression of, oh no, it's okay, I trust you. I'm a very trusting person, generally speaking, depending on the situation. If I've been burned in a situation, I'm very careful, but generally I give people the benefit of the doubt. And so I had trusted her on this, and it would happen again here and again there, and it's like a day of work missed here, a day of work missed there, half a day for this, and this is over several months, right? And now we're pushing further into the summer, into July, where a couple things happened. So one thing that happened in July was, so she has a son, and he's about, I want to say 13 years old roughly, and she was looking for early payment to pay for his tuition in school. I thought, well, I guess it's a good thing to do. I'm happy to help, but if she doesn't hit her numbers, because she was on like a base plus commission kind of setup. That was one tweak I made, which really increased performance, by the way. So if you have an appointment setter that you're paying a base, if you offer commission on top, that'll really help. But in this setup, I think, okay, it's fine. If she doesn't do her numbers, I'll just deduct it from the next paycheck. I don't think she's going to be disappearing at this point. We've been working together, 6 months kind of thing. So I give the money, nothing goes wrong. It was pretty much as I had expected, because we had a good relationship at this point. I was very happy with her. One of the things that she offered me in July was, again, hey, if you want, I can give you some virtual assistants, so on and so forth. I still said, no, it's okay. I'd just like to have you on the calls. I'm really not, when we scale down the line, sure, but at the moment, I just don't have a need for them. Now, fast forward to August, another pretty drastic and pretty weird thing happened. Basically, our show up rate for the sales calls that she was booking tanked, like really, really hard. I'm talking like we have a 35% show up rate, like real bad. And before, this wasn't the case. She was in the 50s, and nothing had changed to my knowledge or to my understanding. And another thing happened in August. So at this point, I had a sales rep going full force. She was going full force, operations manager in place. The agency's more or less fully automated. I take a 10-day vacation to Europe with my girlfriend, where conveniently, the first day that I'm gone, one of her family members dies, and she misses the Friday and the Monday of work. I didn't find out about this until I got back, where I was talking to Nick, my operations manager, who he's actually here. I'm in Florida right now, by the way. We're here for a month, just at like an Airbnb, so that's why the background's all different. But he had told me that one of her family members had supposedly died. Again, I give the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to jump to accusations right away or anything like that. But what he had told me that was pretty disturbing was that she had sent a video of like 5 people around a bed with one guy laying on the bed, and she was saying like, this is the dead guy. Like, I am not making this shit up. That is literally what happened. So she sent a video of a dead guy to Nick, because Nick is like kind of like her direct report, you could say, right? He's, you know, making sure the company's running as it's supposed to while I'm gone. And she sends him that. I get back, I find out about this. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then when I get back, she misses like another day of work. We hop on a call. I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, this family member died on that date and this family member died on like this past weekend. So 2 family members died within 2 weeks. And I'm sitting there like, I want to believe you, but things have just been getting more and more ridiculous as time has passed. And it's possible, but like sending a video, like, did she just set up a guy on the bed? To this day, I still have no idea if these people actually died or not. So I don't want to be insensitive or anything like that, but this is what was going through my, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, this is so weird. But the thing is, appointments are still coming in. The show up rate is kind of trash. At this point, we're into September. The appointment booking rate drops by like 50%. This is where I'm like, this is getting out of hand. All of a sudden, you know, the show up rate drops, the booking rate drops, excuse. And then once again, she's starting to now ask me for another advance payment. This time she's telling me she wants to move to the UAE. She needs money for her visa. She needs like $10,000. She's really close and she just needs this money because there's a due date coming up in like 2 days. I'm like, last time I'll do this for you, I'll advance you the money, but that's it, no more. So I give her the one last time advance payment. Everything's still fine in the end, but in October, something crazy happened. It's really a couple things. One thing is I catch her in a lie about her health. So she references some kind of back problem. Over the course of, you know, nearly a year at this point, I had received multiple screenshots of her just like with like IVs in her arms and this kind of thing. And in this one screenshot, it's like there's an IV in her arm going over her shoulder, seemingly into nothing. You know, she's got like a band around her rib cage kind of, and she's talking about having this back problem. And she says, yeah, that's why I was asking you for an advance payment on my son's tuition a month ago. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty damn sure I caught you in a lie right now, because you're telling me you're asking for your son's tuition payment a month ago, which was September, but a month ago you're asking me for the UAE payment, and in July, that's when you're asking me for your son's tuition payment. So I confront her about that, and she just completely forgets that that's what happened. So I completely just dead catch her in a lie about all of this. Now I'm extremely skeptical, and it gets even crazier because now I'm posting on YouTube. She knows I have a YouTube channel, and I make a community post on my YouTube channel about I don't know what. I think I was like teasing a video when I was coming back from my concussion or something like that. And then in the comments of that post, someone from somewhere comments something along the lines of, hey Evan, so-and-so, insert name here, is lying to you. She's not the one calling her leads. We're calling her leads and we're not getting paid. So she's outsourcing her entire job, lying to me, pretending to be the one doing the job and not paying her people. No wonder she's looking for advance payments here and there. So I'm like, okay, can I get an email of yours or something? Like I'm curious. I want to investigate this and see what's really going on here. I get the person's email. This person sends me pictures of random people I've never seen before inside my employee's like house on her computer inside my CRM with my logo on the screen, making calls, telling me, yeah, she's not been making the calls. I asked since when, since June. I can put some screenshots on the screen now or something like that, but there was a whole email thread of just blatantly obvious proof that, hey, this person's not, she's just not the one doing the job. So this person's reaching out to me, hey, can you hire me instead? Because we're the ones that are actually doing the work, we're hardworking, so on and so forth, and she's just screwing us and not paying us at all. So now I'm in this weird situation where it's like, okay, well, I hired you not these people. You hired these people behind my back, and now they're coming to me for a job because you're not paying them, but I'm paying you way too much just because I thought I was being a good person because you're a single mom and you work so hard. This is where I started to get pissed off. So now I had to confront her. So I got her on Slack, we had a call, and I just confronted her head on within the first minute of the call. I was like, hey, I'm gonna let you go. I know exactly what's going on. She's like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, is that all you have to say? And then she starts talking, right? And she starts trying to justify things and explain this and explain that. But then I could see the true her come out in that conversation where she just had this nastiness within her, this manipulativeness within her that came out. That was like, who is it that told you that? Because I told her about the email stuff. Who is it? What was the name? It's like, I'm not telling you, this is your problem. You're the one that's not paying your employees. I'm not outing somebody for you after you just lied to me for almost a year or for about a year, whatever it was, right? I'm not helping you have trouble with your people. This is your fire to put out. Good luck, have fun with that. And on that call, unprompted, she goes, I guess the lesson here is to not trust people with information. I'm like, that's the lesson here? The lesson here is to not tell your employees that you're lying to your clients? That's the lesson. And I kid you not, I timed it for 8 minutes. 8 minutes, I'm sitting there just trying to get her to admit that that is wrong and that she lied to me and that that is an issue. It took me 8 minutes just to get her to say it and just absolutely delusional about any of this, right? At this point, it's been a year. I paid her 24 grand, double paid her, if not paid her triple what I could have paid her and what in the end I probably should have paid her, given the fact that she's hiring these people, not paying them on time or at all. And that's the situation. If you don't want this to happen to you, you can book a sales call with me in the description for my private scaling group for agency owners, where we talk about these things and help you prevent these problems. If you want to do it, go ahead. If not, that's fine too. Otherwise, click whatever's popping up on screen. I'll see you there.